I hope you don't mind a more casual video today. Here, come get comfy with me on the couch. I was not feeling so great this week, and so I thought we'd do a more mellow video instead. Hopefully you don't mind. Last week, I got a lot of questions on my mehendi video. Mehendi is the Indian word for henna body art. And people asked me, why did you not talk about black henna? And so I figured that I would talk about it a little bit today. And just so you know, I will have a video on it in the future as well. I wanted to release the video a little closer to summer because that's when people are more likely to get henna done. But I figured that there's no harm in talking about it now. So we'll just do a little overview today. When I was in India, the henna that I had on my body was traditional henna. And so that's the henna that is orange or reddish in color. But some henna artists will combine their henna with something called PPD, that's known as Para-Phenylenediamine. That is black henna. And people really like the black henna, and I get it. It's because it's really noticeable. It almost looks like a permanent tattoo. And if you are someone with darker skin tones like me, that black henna is just going to stand out a lot better. Also, if you're traveling, you're not going to want to sit around forever waiting for the henna to absorb. And it turns out black henna absorbs a lot faster. So I get the appeal. But what people don't know is that black henna can be really unsafe. Now, PPD is not some newfangled chemical that came out of nowhere. It's actually been around for a really long time, about 150 years in hair dyes. So the question becomes, why is it cool to have PPD in hair dye and not black henna? And the reason is concentration. If you've ever taken a first-year chemistry class, you've probably heard your professor tell you that the dose makes the poison, and that's what's happening here. So in hair dye, you can find PPD at 6% or less, but in black henna, it can range on the upwards end from about 30% in some studies to 60% is what they found in others. There is something called henna stone, which actually doesn't have much henna in it, and their PPD is present at about 90%. The second reason it's problematic is because of its contact with the skin. So when we have PPD in hair dye, your hairstylist at the hair salon will try not to get the hair dye onto your scalp. But with black henna, you're putting it directly onto your skin, and it's gonna sit there from anywhere from 4 to 6 hours. And so that's a really long time to be exposed to the chemical. The reason that PPD is such a problem is because it is a potent contact allergen. What's the contact allergen, you ask? Well, it is a substance that triggers an immune response in the body. When PPD oxidizes, it produces these tiny little molecules called haptens, and these haptens bind with proteins in the skin. This provokes an immune response. The immune system will recruit T cells to destroy these unwanted molecules, and it's the action of the T cells that really creates these symptoms that we experience as an allergic reaction. The experience is something similar to what you'd see when you brush against some poison ivy. It's redness and swelling, itchiness, chemical burns, and in very severe cases, you could experience something like problems breathing, kidney failure, vomiting. When things go wrong, it's really, really bad. Black henna does look good, but for me, it's just not worth the risk. You can find black henna pretty much anywhere, but I do notice that it's more prevalent in foreign countries and in tourist locations. I want to thank everybody for watching this video. I really appreciate it. Hopefully, I've shared some helpful information, and we're going to dig into it in more detail come summer. If you like this video, do me a favor. Give me a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos, consider subscribing. I'd love to have you join me on my journey. I will talk to you guys soon. See you next Friday.